Okay, so in the world of CRUD apps, okay, these are list apps that let you create, read, update, and delete. You currently can do read and you can do update. You cannot yet do create. You can't add a new recipe yet, nor can you delete. Okay, so I'm going to show you both of these. And the first thing we'll do is we'll show you how to create a new recipe to add to your list. Okay, so to do that, you probably want a new sheet. All right, and when you want a new sheet, you can follow the same method that you did before. I'm going to say state private var show add equals to false. Okay, so this could be better named as show credit sheet. Okay, and this could be named show add sheet. All right, but I'm just going to leave this on screen for you to consider. And what I want is I want a new button in my toolbar. Okay, you can see down here I have a toolbar. I want a new button over here where if I tap on it, I'm going to say show add equals to true. Okay, and the label for this button is going to be a plus button. Let's go to our SF symbols over here, search for plus, and you can choose one of these plus buttons. I'm going to choose this one because I think it fits pretty well with the theme of my app. And down here, I'm going to once again attach a sheet to it. Okay, so is presented colon show add. Notice that I'm not actually using the autocomplete for this because if you use autocomplete, your code will look slightly different. That's because there's more than one way to type this sheet modifier. I would prefer if you use this, it's a little bit easier to read and understand. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to put a placeholder that says this works. It's always nice to have a little bit of progress to check whether something works before you go ahead and add more. Okay, so I'm just going to tap on this. Okay, this works. Fantastic. And you can swipe down to delete it. All right, so that's nice. What we're going to do now is we're going to let the user enter the name of a recipe, and I'll leave you to figure out if you want to let the user add more fields as well. Okay, so in general, when we want to let user add things, we want to use a list again. So I'm just going to say list over here, and I'm going to have a text field. And at this point, you realize, wait a minute, we used text field just now, and text field needed a binding, right? It needed a piece of string to store it into. So I'm going to delete this first. I'm going to go up to the top of my code, and maybe I'll put it right here. Okay, after all my recipes, I'm going to have the state private var new recipe title equals to an empty string. Okay, so we're going to use this to store our new recipe title. Okay, and when it's ready, we're going to add it into our array of recipes. All right, so I'm going to go down here. I'm going to use the text field. You can choose to get it from here, or you can choose to type it out like I will right now. So text field, and I'm going to use the one that says title key text. So title key is essentially what you want to show as a placeholder. So over here, I'm just going to say enter a name. And the binding over here is new recipe title. That's right. Thank goodness for autocomplete to help me figure that out. Okay, so let's try this out. I'm just going to press plus, and it's going to say enter a name. Okay, so maybe it might make more sense to put this in a section as well. Section title. And down here, I'm just going to cut this and paste it over here. So maybe not enter a name, enter a title for your recipe. I'm not going to put in the description inside here because I think this is enough to demonstrate what it does. All right, but let's test it out real quick. Always test your code. Okay, so there you go. Right, this looks pretty decent. And what I want to do now is I want to have another section that lets people either save or cancel. So this one doesn't need a title, but I'm going to have two buttons. Button, save. Okay, we're going to leave what it does empty for now. And I'm going to have a button of cancel. And this one, I'm going to make sure that it's a red color tint. So I'm going to set foreground style to .red. Okay, so let's test it out. Press plus. Okay, there we go. We have a save and a cancel button. Okay, so hopefully this is something that you're used to. It's something that you expect when you tap on the plus button. Okay, so now we just need to be able to save the data. And how are we going to do it? Well, when you do cancel, it's actually really easy. When you cancel, you just need to discard everything that the user has typed in and just stop showing the sheet, right? How do you stop showing the sheet? You say show at equals to false. Okay, simple as that. Let's try it. So press plus, and oh, I don't actually want to add anything. Cancel. All right, fantastic. Right, so that's simple enough. Plus, cancel. For save, well, that's a bit more complex. You're going to need to make a new recipe out of this title. You're going to have to add it to this array of recipes, and you're going to have to dismiss the screen. Okay, you're still going to have to dismiss the modal sheet that pops up because that makes the most sense. Okay, if you forget that step, it will feel a bit strange. The person will tap save, and then they'll be like, wait a minute, did it save? They'll press they'll tap save again, they'll tap save again, and then they'll tap save again, and they will finally dismiss the sheet and find that they added it 4 times. Okay, so what did I say I needed to do? I needed to make a new recipe. So I'm going to say let new recipe equals to recipe, open bracket, and recipe needs a title. That's going to be new recipe title. And for description, I'm just going to leave it as an empty string. Let me take away the preview real quick so that it's a bit easier for us to see the code. Okay, this one, if you have another text field for the description, that's where you would add it in. Next, we want to say recipes dot append new recipe. Okay, simple enough. You're just saying, hey, I have this array of recipes. Would you like to join it? Okay, yeah, sure. Let's add it on to the very end. That's what append means. Add to the very end. And finally, let's dismiss it. Show add equals to false. All right, let's do this. Let's go test out our recipe adder. Tap on this. Okay, cool. Hot chocolate potato? I have no idea. All right, so press save. And there you go, hot chocolate potato. All right, the only thing is it doesn't give you details, it doesn't give you a favorite, but you know what? You can come in here and fill in some random details yourself. And, you know, that's good enough. Let's go back. Okay, and this is a favorite. Okay, so that's the creation aspect done.